maybe a bit later, I'll give you a bit more of a drive around in the car. Well, I've sort of come to a sort of final point with this car now, where I want to just, I guess, show the world, or show our customers, our family, probably, why I guess this car means so much to me and my family. So for those that know, know me, know that my dad passed away probably, I think it was May last year, 2022, and he was the reason why I'm into cars, and more specifically XW and XY, Falcons, Fairmonts, GTs, just Fords in general, big Ford family, Ford nut. So he was a Ford guy, all his life. He unlike myself, he probably didn't own many Hollands, if any at all. I know he had the opportunity to own a couple of Monaros when he was younger. His first car was an XW Fairmont, just like mine was. He's had numerous, XWs, XYs, XAs, XBs, ZDs, ZC Fairlanes, XF. Yeah, he was a Ford guy. We were a Ford family, but more specifically, we're going to talk about the car. Obviously, the XY to the right of me here. I think it was about 10 years old, so it's like we're talking 88, 89. It's an original, XY Fairmont 6-cylinder car. Obviously, it was immaculate. Funny thing was, so was mine. Mine was an XW, but there's 3 months between the cars. This is a 1070, and that's a 770. So he bought that car, and obviously the idea was he's a redhead, so it was the V8 conversion was a must. And I don't think the original plan was to make this into an actual replica car. My dad liked different things on his cars, but he did like originality as well. So I don't know if he was always intending to make it the way it is now. Obviously the V8 was one thing, and so obviously the car got resprayed probably early, late 80s, early 90s. It got pulled apart. Funnily enough, the interior is all original. The crash pad's all original. You'll see, I'll walk you through this inside there as well at the moment. So all that is original. Like I said, crash pads, I think of the roof lining, seats, door trims, all original. Carpets not. That was changed to at some point, and then it's been changed again. Don't know why he decided to change it sort of later on, but he changed it to black and put the black console in. So I think the opportunity came up to buy because back in the day there's no Rare Spares didn't sell like shaker scoops, bonnets. It was all, you need to buy a car that had it on there, or new old stock. So I think the opportunity came up to buy the whole shaker scoop setup, the bonnet, original style bonnet, probably about a few bits and pieces, and that probably instigated the whole replica deal, and then he just went from there. So, and we're still probably talking, geez, I was young, so we're talking, early to mid 90s, all this was happening. So you can appreciate the car was painted by one of his brother's mates at City Spray in Bayswater, which is actually a truck repair shop. So it got probably painted on on the weekend, and I know half of the black house got painted in the shed at home back then. And yeah, he drove it around pretty much like that, for many years, probably up until, we're talking, we're 2023 now, so probably till the early 2000s. And I think, I don't know if something broke in the engine or something, it was probably a bit tired. Not that it got driven like kilometre wise, but I'm not quite sure what was done to the engine back then. So that sort of instigated probably what we would call the second build. And when I say second build, it was just more, I don't even think he pulled the gearbox out, just pulled the motor out, resprayed the engine bay, and I think even may have resprayed the bonnet back then as well, not 100% sure. The bonnet did get resprayed in between the builds. So the bonnet got resprayed when we did the shaker scoop stuff. So yeah, got painted 90s, shaker scoop went on, obviously bonnet got painted again, then it got probably, only just got painted recently now. So a lot of the stuff on the car has been on there for, since those mid-90s. Everything is still sort of, from that era, bumpers. I'll take you through a bit of the new stuff and obviously the engine-based stuff separately, because that's what got redone. Like I said, probably 14, I'd say about 13 or 14 years ago. So took the engine, which the original engine was just back then, whatever it was, souped up Cleveland, nothing fantastic. But now we obviously changed that and went to the sort of the alloy heads and stroker kit, and he did a bit of work back then. So that was sort of like its sort of second wind and second build. And yeah, that was, he drove it all the time. Like, any chance he had, he drove it. And he probably drove it more when he was older than he was younger. I was always bugging him to drive it when I was a kid. Used to take it to the soccer a lot, probably the Italian club. Used to take, people home from the soccer in it. I've known guys, some of my best mates that have bought XYs just because they went for driving this car. So, but it's not an original GT. It's not an original GT, but I think that's what makes it a bit more unique. We can do, a few more different things to it. But it was his car, and he was always known to, him and his car went together. Like, everyone knew about it. Whether he went to the Italian club, the soccer club, car shows. He was always, he was always known with his car. So hence why it was when he passed a couple of years ago. There was obviously, there was never ever going to be an intention to sell it, and there probably never will be. But more for me, I wanted to do probably some of the stuff I didn't get to do while he was alive, and that's not because I was busy or anything, but he literally used to drive it all the time. So it's not like I could take it off his hands or just have it sit in the workshop and just tinker away at it like I can with my car. I've had that opportunity over the last year and a bit to just sort of chip away at it. The fuel pump happened to just go probably not long after his funeral. We actually drove it to his funeral. So yeah, that was a bit weird. But again, like, anyone that does stuff for cars like this knows that all it takes is one thing to instigate another. So while I said to the mum, obviously, Mum, we've got to fix the fuel pump. She goes, yeah, no problem, because technically it's her car. Even though I'll probably consider it, I always tell people it's mine because it's, I think, I've probably spent more time and money on this one than probably, my own one, so, but it is the family, we call it the family car. It is Mum's, but so Mum's happy to say, whatever we need to do, we need to do. So, so yeah, we did the fuel pump, and I'll probably pop the engine, and then I'll probably go through the engine bay stuff, and because that's probably the most significant stuff that I've done in the last year. And we sort of wanted to, I didn't want it to always be something that just continually goes on. So obviously all 4-day runs every second year. And with it having been just gone, that was sort of like, we get it ready for that. So everything we sort of did within the last 6 months was, a bit of a plan to just have it ready for that, because it's something he always went to, he always enjoyed. And it's sort of like having him there, having both cars there, and in the meantime, I thought just a final touch would be, we're launching a new merchandise range, and we'll squeeze in a design of both, his car and my car, because without him, I wouldn't have had my car. I've just, this was always going to be his, and I'll have to have my own. So. And yeah, it's good to have both cars on the shirt, and I love to always have them both near each other. But room in here doesn't permit that. But it's they're always look good close together. So yeah, so we'll take you probably around the car and through the engine bay and Tyrone, and maybe we'll even see if we can go for a drive and just give you guys at home a bit of a look at that too. So yeah, let's keep watching, and we'll see you at the end. So with this engine bay, we've done a few things over the past year. I'll turn this around now, and I'll just point out. I mean, to anyone else, it's just looks nice and tidy, but from where it's come from, it's a bit nice and tidy, and all sort of gels together. So I'll turn it around, and I'll just quickly show you some of the things that I did here. So obviously the main thing is colour stuff I like. So this was red, so now it's black. Leads were blue, made them black, so we changed all that. Obviously we changed the fuel pump, so I had some spare aeroflow fittings and line left over from my car, so I managed to make a fuel line there, sort of similar to how it runs in mine. That's a Robbie Mac fuel pump. We changed that. That was sort of what instigated everything. We had the car obviously serviced at Arachie's and then Forestdale, and they installed. So I wanted to keep the original covers, the Ford Motorsport ones, but yeah, we just couldn't make them work with the breather setup. So we've run obviously an external breather at the back there in the corner. Was never really a fan of these. I'm not a fan of polished covers, but these ones actually came up nice, and we've sort of added our own little touch on there too to commemorate the old boy there. So it sort of hides the Aeroflow logo too. Then we've obviously, without taking the motor out, we've touched up all the blue in here as well. So the reason why I did that is the pump was Dad changed the pump at some point, so the pump was a different colour to the block. And so while I had that out, we changed colour. I painted all the pulley brackets again, the pulleys. What else did we do in here? Oh yeah, obviously probably see this as well. That we've probably done painted the shaker scoop. All the silver striping, taped all them up, which was quite time consuming. And got this to match obviously the engine now, so that was sort of mismatching as well. So I had my mate Brad from Rail Customs just pick that up because he's got a booth. It's just easier to spray in there. Was it the KB KB paint, the obviously the high temp engine paint, but we use that on there too. So I'm not sure if he thinned it down or not, but so I like having it nice and glossy, and obviously matching the engine bay. Obviously polished all inside here as well with the machines to bring that all back up. This engine bay got painted, or probably not when we did it. It did get painted when we built the car, but it probably got painted another 14 or so years ago when we did actually rebuilt this motor. So it's never been polished either, so we did all that. These are all sort of rusted. These brackets here, they're all sort of, you know, surface rust, and repainted them, same as the front ones here. Would have been nice to change. Dad had all these sort of zinc plated. That was also, I haven't ran out of time. Would have been nice to just change these ones to black. We'll do that at some stage. Maybe even change these ones back to white. The idea was to sort of just make it all look, you know, nice and fresh, and sort of just gel, and yeah, just a general tidy. It was just due for it. It was due for its servicing and all that sort of stuff. So we did all the other bits and pieces too that we haven't managed. Dad used to drive the car all the time, so it's very hard to take it off him and do stuff like this. So he would have said, no, leave it, because he knew that if we started doing stuff, he wouldn't be able to drive it. So yeah, just doing all that. We put obviously we had the bonnet painted in gloss now, and then I've just changed. These are all sort of all scuffed from obviously turning them all those times. We left the surround matte still, so it matches obviously the scoop. Troy from Troy's Auto Finishing did the bonnet for us. He knew Dad, and he was quite happy to help us out on that too, which is good. Yeah, I've got photos, I think another video. It might be a bit tight to see here, but obviously this was all rusted as well, all in here. And I was going to buy, you can buy these straight off the shelf, but what I did is I fixed, this one here was in like 3 or 4 pieces. So I managed to fix all that up, paint it in the original style colours. So it's obviously the dark and the light argents there. Kept all the badges. These are all rusted too, so managed to clean all them up. So yeah, just trying to do everything on a, it's a bit dirty there from driving. Just do everything on a bit of a budget, because that's how Dad used to do things. Used to do as much as he could himself. So obviously I tried to do the same. The spoiler, we did buy Dad a spoiler Father's Day one year. I think he broke it. He was sick. He must have hit it or done something. So I did put a new one on there and tried to fit it up. As for whatever reason, it just doesn't. They don't sort of line up where they want to go. So you got to, for whatever reason, to make that one sort of fit. But yeah, that's it. So she's a 393 Cleveland, obviously with the 2 V heads. So they're like a Clevo style head. Obviously flow a bit better than standard. We did change. I think we changed to I think it's another Wayne accelerator manifold. I'm not 100% sure. Made 500 on the engine dyno, so it's a nice, good for the street. We didn't want anything too aggressive for the old boy, and it's a manual. So yeah. So that's just some of the engine bay. That was probably the main things we did on this car, was more engine bay focused, because that's obviously we polished. I polished the whole car, and me and my son, you know, polished the whole car, which hadn't been done since the early 90s when it was painted. But yeah, just trying to get it to a point where it's just maintenance now, and we can obviously we can show it for him at the All-4 Day, and just commemorate him and honour him, because it's you know, just that's all we've got, you know, left of him now is his cars and all the things he's left behind. So yeah. off this video so long, I really wanted to get the sound of the car, the driving of the car. It's all part and parcel of owning the car, I suppose. It's you know, it's a different feeling than driving my car. It's something that I've grown up with. So yeah, just a bit of a sights and sounds. Ulterior motive is the battery keeps going flat, so I thought I better get some charge into it, because tonight I've got to move it in and out of the workshop for a photo shoot, and the last thing I'm going to do at midnight tonight is have a flat battery. So the car's actually filthy at the moment, probably a little bit different to what you've seen in the video so far. But yeah, just get some sound, I guess. That's always something I like to hear when I see these cars, and why would this be any different? Right guys, so hopefully I've got what I want now, because I've been chopping this video, you know, for the last year or so. So I've got pieces all over the place, but hopefully it's been pieced together seamlessly. So, but you can get the idea of what we've done here. But yeah, what we're going to do is, you probably noticed in the video, this car was quite dirty now. Not so much when we were doing the you know, the restoration stuff all 4 day. Obviously we were polishing, getting it all clean and stuff. So what I want to do with this vehicle is, it is a bit of a test mule. It always has been as well. We test products on our own cars, we test it on our clients' cars. And something we've been working on is, you know, more efficient ways to wash, clean, and probably, you know, a lot of guys don't want to use water. So we're going to go through and show you a rinseless wash on this vehicle. Not so much a waterless, there's a bit of a difference. I've been doing a bit of homework on it over the years, and I always trial things over and over again before I, promote it or I offer it to a customer. So the idea would be to, show you on this one here, and hopefully it can help you with your own street machine or muscle car at home, and just help you with and maintain it. So the videos aren't always about personal cars or customers' cars. The idea is to actually get some education out there, try and relay some of the stuff I've learned in my time being a car detailer, not even just a detailer, just an enthusiast. So, and pass it on to you guys as well. So you can take anything away from this video here is about the passion and what we do here, but in the future is hopefully a bit of education as well. So really appreciate you sat through this one and watched the whole lot, because it's more of a personal one for me, for the family, for the business. But I really appreciate you sticking to the end and seeing what we're all about. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.